Logic 9 brings with it the new feature called Bounce in Place, and what it does is it's going to render anything that's on the channel into a brand new audio file. And this is pretty good for creative stuff with your beats. So once you've got your beats laid down, it might be worth doing this. So here's a rhythm. This is just coming from the Ultra Beat, and this is the Deep House kit that comes with it. In fact, it's one of their patterns, okay? And it's just been taken out into the Arrange page by dragging and dropping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a brand new effect inside the Space Designer. And they've got these new impulses that you can run your beats through. My tempo of the project is 120 BPM. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because if we go here to Ghost Rhythms, you're going to find a selection of 120 BPM impulses. These are designed to add a unique flavor onto the beat. So have a listen to this. So that's got a really nice flavor to it. You know, it's really interesting. Let's try another one. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the actual effect down a touch here, because we have to be thinking about the level here, you know, the peak value on the fader. I don't want it to be too loud so it's peaking. Let's try another one. See, rhythmic impulses add a really interesting flavor into the drums. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to render that into the region. This is what happens, right? Watch this. Right click on the region itself, and we have Bounce in Place. We've got some options that come up, and I'm going to call this Beat Mash 1. So it's going to be changing the characteristic of it into a new file. Look, new track. The source I'm going to leave as it is. I'm not going to mute it. You can bypass the effect plugins, and when it's got a sound like this, it's a good idea to add the effect tail to the file. So let's see what happens when I push OK. It's bounced out the audio with the effect. Let's have a listen to it. Let's just set the locators around that. So what you could do, you know, with this kind of stuff is to have a progression, you know, where you've got this movement from the original to the new one as part of the track. Let's take the effect off of here so you can really hear that. So here we go again. That could be maybe some little breakdown section or something. You could even add the EQ to really emphasize that kind of a concept. So look, here we go. And then you could switch back into the beat. You know, these kind of ideas are great for inspiring the structure of your tune. You could alternate that kind of a flavor. So let's apply another process. So let's come back to this, and I'm going to select just this region. Let's take the Space Designer and bring it back into the signal path. Let's right click, Bounce in Place. Let's say Beat Mash 2. In fact, let me just choose another impulse, otherwise it's going to be exactly the same. Let's switch it over. That's another good one. So what we'll do is we'll bounce that in. So right click, Bounce in Place, new track. So Beat Mash 2. Off we go. Bounces it out, and we got ourselves a new file. So let's take this over here. Let's move the original one up here so we get this in an order. And what I could do here is to say, let's bring it in like this. And then let's take that one. So we've got this really interesting vibe coming through. So have a listen to that. Let me take that off. So it makes for a really, really interesting flavor. So that's the rhythmic impulses, but also there are some non-rhythmic ones that are going to sound great too. So if I just have a look over here, let's have a listen to this running through another one of these impulses. So these are contained in warp spaces. warped effects, sorry, and drum transformers. Have a listen to this. Let's check out some more. So you can see the potential there. You could use the same bounce in place method and get the same kind of results.